63 pages, 530. China was not and is still not a member of the Geneva Convention. What's it all worth? If you go to South Korea today, and in particular the city of Kachin, that has grown up near the boundary, and say you come from Gloucestershire, you'll be treated like a VIP. They have not forgotten they have built the magnificent memorial to us. Roy Mills and his colleagues deserve to be remembered. Thank you to the Voice of the for doing so.
Praetorian Guards force-marched the Gloucesters north for 7 weeks. Not all survived this nightmarish ordeal, with some seriously wounded, mysteriously disappearing in the night. Roy and his Forester chums stuck together, and then went on to endure over 2 years of appalling conditions in a prisoner of war camp. With totally inadequate shelter, food and medicine, they were subjected to daily doses of attempted brainwashing and indoctrination. This they resisted with a bloody-minded obstinacy to the immense frustration of their communist minders. Dysentery, lice, tapeworm, and many other ailments plagued them in their miserable existence. They suffered extremes of heat in the summer and 2 incredibly harsh winters, with temperatures plummeting to 40 below. Their experiences are graphically recorded in Lynn Lambert's excellent book, Nobber's Boy. This describes how Nobber's son, David Gardner, was helped by his dear friend Roy Mills to survive. It is clear that what got them through this ghastly ordeal was Forester grit and a selfless concern and care for each other. In July 1953, the armistice was signed and Roy and his chums were released, returning to a hero's welcome in their beloved forest, almost exactly 70 years ago. Their contribution, both during the battle and in captivity, had been outstanding. 2 foresters, David Haynes and Derek Richard, earned bravery awards, and Bernard Smith went on to become Regimental Sergeant Major of the Gloucesters. They left behind nearly 100 Gloucesters who would not come back, who had died in the battle or in those ghastly camps. And they included a rifleman Keir, serving with Royal Ulster Rifles, who himself was a forester. On demobilisation, Roy settled back into the forest, working as a carpenter. In his spare time, he loved soccer, playing for several local clubs. It was when travelling to an away game that he first met Avril. He took, I understand, the last seat left on the bus next to her, and the rest, as they say, is history. Married 2 years later, they were blessed with 3 children, Joe, Sally, and Anne. Roy remained best friends with David Gardner and Bernard Smith, and he's a highly respected member of our regimental association, where Roy symbolises the fighting spirit of the Foresters. The Gloucester successors are the Rifle, and there today's young Foresters continue to serve their country and hold the exemplary example of Roy in the highest esteem.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm delighted to be with you on behalf of the Constitution and represent the King today. I'd like to say a few very brief words. 70 years ago this month, the Dean Forest Mercury reported the arrival of 285 glorious Gloucesters on the Asturias at Southampton. Roy Mills was in a contingent of POWs and included several forest men. Some 70 years after the Battle of the Indian, I asked Roy what he felt like when he got home. He said, "I just wanted a game of football." The reporter on the dock that day, when he came back from the forest, wrote, "Private Royston Mills, only son of Mr. and Mrs. William Mills of 9 Bounty Road, Cinderford, wants to get home and play football, and as an afterthought would like some bread pudding. Though he has lost a stone, in the words of his mother, who was there to meet him, he looks wonderfully well, as do all these men. A bit of filling on it and he'll be all right, his grandmother said. That's 77-year-old Mary Jones. Royston welcomed the rain that fell that day. It wouldn't be blighting if it wasn't raining, he said. His comment on the much talked of political indoctrination was, I never had any. A few weeks later, Harold Morgan and friends from the Station Street group gathered in the Friends Meeting House and presented him with an inscribed watch. But before long, Roy was getting married and playing football. So, why should we be honouring Roy Mills today? Was it because he fought for 3 days against overwhelming odds on the Injun River until his ammunition ran out? Was it because he marched hundreds of miles by night, tormented by his captors, his North Korean captors, prisoners on the Chinese border? Was it because he survived over 2 years of terrible conditions in that camp? Yes. All of those things are why Cinderford is honouring him. But also because he represented the ordinary man, because he beat against the odds. Have been plated in Korea, statues built, and remembered its hero, and fitting that this council will forever carry a room with his name on, and future generations will remember how an ordinary lad from Cinderford who loved football did his bit. I salute you.
Thank you very much for